Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
All right. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome. Big Rich Towne. Gang in this thing. We was on a little break. I know y'all probably thought, I don't know what y'all thought, but we back in this thing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Tamara, the host of the show. And if you're new episodes drop every Thursday. A lot of times I talk about my life and how I'm trying to grow. But during Power season, all the books, we finna talk about that. So that's what this episode's gonna be about. And I definitely have gang with me. I will introduce them in 1 second, but if you're not, you should totally be following me on social media, and the link to my Twitter and Instagram is in the episode notes. And also, if you're in need of any professional development and coaching services, check out my website because I have a consulting agency, so the link to that is in my episode notes. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I got. So as always, gang never changes in this thing. We got Cedric, we got Baylor. And, yeah, how y'all been? We ain't recorded in a minute together.
I've been good, man. Been good. Just been living life. And nothing too crazy. Got a house. Or closing on a house.
Yep. Shout out to home ownership.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Other than that, nothing too crazy.
I bought a house, nothing major though. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing too crazy.
Baylor, how your summer been?
It's been going a little different than usual. Not going out as much, but we're getting there. We actually was in the process of buying a house too, but I don't know. It might seem like it might be a roadblock there, but we definitely got close to closing in on one as well. And I'm actually hoping it don't go through because we've actually seen some other houses pop up on the market that's like severely cheaper. So, even though it'd be a great accomplishment to say like, I'm a homeowner, I'm willing to wait a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel it.
Wait till you find something right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one on here not buying a home, but that's okay. Yeah, I just be working.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, it is at some point just trying to work, build my company. That's really about it. Just trying to become more efficient. As y'all can see, you know what I'm saying? Big Rich Towne. I don't even know what you call it. Overlay. I've been working on the aesthetics and stuff like that for different type of episodes. So that is all I've been doing. It's just growing as which there's nothing wrong with that, business owner, creator, you know what I'm saying? But that's not why we brought y'all here, and as I was thinking about this, so we're going to be talking about Power Book 2, Raising Kanan, the first 5 episodes. If you're new to how we do power shows, obviously we don't do it every week because you didn't get episodes every week. We are going to do one at the mid-season break, so that's why we're doing this now. And then we come again at the end of the season and just kind of talk about basically the whole season or the last 5 episodes or whatever. As I was thinking about it, I love that this is a brand new series that we get to just start from the beginning. Power, when we first started this, we started at the end of Power Book 1, and we actually thought it was just going to be that one episode, but we have such great rapport. We have such different views and the way we see things, and so it makes for great conversation. Even if we don't agree, we still can have a civilized discussion about it, and it doesn't become this big old argument. But then also the listeners, you know what I'm saying, were kind of like, hey, are y'all gonna keep doing that? And sometimes I try to give the people what they want. Not all the time, because this is my show, but sometimes I try to give the people what they want. So that's how we're gonna do this. It's not gonna be this super drug out breakdown. It's really just a conversation and our perspectives and all that good stuff. So we're like, so leading up to this, were you excited about this series? Because I can't remember who said what about being excited about this series.
This was
Yeah, I was excited because I remember the '90s, even though I was on the other side of the goddamn country. The '90s was the '90s, you know what I mean? So I knew it was gonna get the nostalgia, the music, the not just that though, but I also had a different take on it because unless I'm missing something, I assume, or maybe I'm jumping ahead of myself. But I just thought Tommy would be involved in this one as well.
You know, me and Cedric actually talked about that at
Mhm.
some point, and I don't remember if he said it or if I heard it on a podcast that I listened to, but they're a little bit younger than Kanan. So I maybe later on they may come around, but I don't know. Yeah, I think
I
they're. I
don't
think
see it.
you
I don't see
what?
it. I don't see it. I don't see why. I don't see why they would be in it. I mean, maybe later on, but I don't see why even later on they would probably be in it. I mean, unless they wanted to, I guess, but they don't really need to throw them in it. I kind of don't want them to throw them in it.
Right.
Part of me thinks they gotta, because Ghost and Tasha are the reason Kanan got locked up. So if they're talking about, they ain't gonna do it right away now, obviously, because he's only 15. But whatever point he got locked up, unless the series ends before then, they gotta come up at some point then, because we're talking about his life before what we saw. You know, that's my thoughts, but we'll see, because this is a different, I don't know if you call it executive director or whatever, but Courtney Kemp isn't the whatever, it's some Sasha Penn or something. Somebody else is the, I don't even know what the terminology is, but it ain't her. So they may have a different vision for it.
But you know what? And I apologize. I've gotten it mixed up with the series where Tommy and Ghost are actually in high school.
Are
So
they
that's
actually
probably.
doing that?
I thought that was that's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? And I remember we had also talked about the order that they were going to put him in, which caught me by surprise. Because I honestly think I don't know if they're still going to. I don't know if I don't know if I read this somewhere, or I don't know if we brought it up, but are they still going to go through with what's his name, Governor Tate?
Yeah, I think his is book 5. I think Tommy was going to be book 5 when they originally showed all the new power ones when the first one ended, but Tommy's is in production now, and I read an article that they switched the order. So it was actually should have been Governor Tate's next, but for whatever reason they pushed Tommy's up. So
I think because that's gonna be a hard one that they're gonna really have. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some, I've seen some political shows that can get real interesting and filthy. And I'm pretty sure they won't fail on this one. But uh, when I think of Power, I'm not thinking about that side. Even though
right.
it had its, it had its episodes during the original Power and things like that. But with Kanan, and then like I said, you got Tommy's in production or whatever. They do go forward with them being in high school. Is going to be along the same line to me, or at least the same type of content, I would say. But thus far they haven't missed at all to me.
So I guess I will do this real quick in case somebody hasn't watched it, because the interesting thing about this show is you don't have to watch this one at all to appreciate it. Like, it's like book 2, you needed to have seen book 1 to understand a lot of the intricate details in that show, but in book 3 it's like, since it's the prequel,
Yeah.
it really has its own thing. And so I will do the characters. I'm not going to do this every show like this, but since this is a brand new series and we're catching it at the beginning, I will do that. So there's Kanan, which Kanan was in Power Book 1. And so we're basically just seeing his teenage years and kind of what led up to him becoming this ruthless drug dealer killer that he was in Power Book 1. So there's Kanan, there's Rock, which is his mom. She's the queen pin. And then there's his uncles, Lulu and Marvin. There's Jukebox, which is his cousin, who we also were introduced to in book 1 as this ruthless killer who's also a cop at that
Uh-huh.
point.
Uh-huh.
There's Unique, who's a rival drug dealer. There's Famous, who is Kanan's homeboy. There was D-Wiz, but I don't know how much we need to mention that, because so I'm telling you the people that's still alive. There's Jessica, who is Famous's sister, who is also dating Lulu, Kanan's uncle. There's Detective Howard, and then there's Symphony, who is some bartender dude who is also a teacher apparently and a master's student who
Sure,
is,
think about Symphony. That's a wild card right there.
yep, he's dating Kanan's mom, and that's the main characters that we kind of see every week. Yeah,
I actually
Symphony
like
is
that. I actually like that character.
mm,
I actually do because being older now, as you can see, like the drug dealers in the 80s and the 90s were warship, right? But when you fast forward, Symphony was the cat that we were ultimately supposed to be looking up to.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Who actually studied his city, you know what I'm saying, learned everything about it and was about positive, um, just a positive outcome, a positive life. And I think that's why Kanan's mom was really into him. You know what I mean? I don't think we would have been surprised if she was dating another drug dealer or something like that. But as you can see, like I mean, that's a part of her life. That's who she is. But you can also see by her, being into a cat that that's a part time bartender and a teacher and a student. Um, it kind of tells me that there's another life that she wants, which is a positive life, and is also a good role model. You know what I'm saying, for Kanan. Obviously, we know the future, so it didn't stick, but still, it kind of mattered.
I think somebody like her, yeah, she's a drug dealer, but even I've always looked at it as that's just a business person. Their business just happens to be illegal. So
Uh-huh.
somebody who's like her, who's a boss, why she's drawn to him is because he's teaching her something that she doesn't know, and that's what she likes. So for those reasons, I'm not surprised. But as we're seeing, he's actually with the history, he's telling her about businesses and buildings. He's actually helping her step her game up, because now we're seeing her come off the streets and go up in the penthouses and try to create a different way that's going to be better and safer for her because of what he's teaching her.
And I think that I'm going to give my opinion, but I like the show. I do like the show. I'm trying to believe Rock's character. I kind of don't believe her just yet. I don't know. Is that just me? Like, she doesn't seem like a queen pin. I don't know.
Elaborate. Why? How so?
Like, she seems like how they introduced all the characters. Marvin, he was the hothead. He was the one with the muscle. You know what I'm saying? Loyal. Lulu, what was Lulu? I forgot. I think he was loyal, smart, and everything. But it was Rock's character. It was like, how did she get to that position? Even talking to Unique character, I believe like Unique almost looks more organized and more like you said, she was getting stuff from Symphony, a teacher, getting ideas from him. It's like where did your game come from? Where did your why are you where you're at?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think she got her game from Kanan's
potential
dad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dad.
Kanan's her ex. That's just her ex. I don't think that's her baby daddy.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Well, him and
next
then
time
also
on more.
Right. Him and also the dude who Kanan talked about in the very beginning of the series here, where he was like, yeah, he was good to my mom and then he died, whatever. So I think
got set on fire.
Yeah, I think people taught her the game, but I don't know. To me, it's believable just as a businesswoman, because that's how I see all drug dealers, is business people. She is a boss. She has her employees. She takes care of them, even because when dude was in the hospital, she paid the hospital bills. It's grimy as hell how she had D-Wiz killed and then up there praying with his mama. But
boy, she was having sex when D-Wiz was getting killed, having a good time.
Yep. Got that little touchdown phone call, you know what I'm saying? And then went back to getting it in, and then when prayed was mom. So it's like, from the businesswoman aspect, I see it. She's more I don't want to compare books, but you kind of have to. She's more believable for sure than Tasha, and she's more believable than even Monet. And I don't know if it's just the acting, because that's what I base a lot of. I like this series. I like it because the acting, when they say something and when they do something, I believe it. I get so wrapped up in it that I forget it's not real. And that is, for me, what always makes good TV, movie, whatever. Whereas, the other books, somebody say something and I'm like, I don't even think you believe that. Like, because you ain't convincing me of it. And so I don't know. The acting is phenomenal, in my opinion.
I think ultimately, like, this is a family to begin with. You know what I mean? So she got two brothers, and one seems like, Lulu is the more ruthless one. You know what I mean? And
Lulu. I want to see Lulu a little bit more.
Yeah, he's a bit more ruthless, but he also, you can tell he has some emotions attached to him. But it's like, just like in our culture, mostly, we are raised to protect our sister. You know what I mean? And she probably just so happened to be, the brains behind the operation. You know what I'm saying? So not only are you protecting the queen, but you're also protecting the brains of the operation. And she got two henchmen, like she got two killers on her side. One just happened to eat a lot and party a lot. You know what I'm saying? But the other one, like I said, besides the whole drug cartel operation, you could tell like on the side they have like, I wouldn't necessarily call it a separate life, but they are showing signs of having feelings. But except for Marvin though, he ruthless with that with the white girl. but but Lulu, you can see how his emotions is getting caught up with old girl. Same thing with Raquel and Symphony, like, but they still have a family business to run, you know. And like I said, I think they just, you know, they protect her, you know what I'm saying? So with that protection, she might get a lot of, you know, a lot of respect in the streets.
I think one thing you said that just made me think, a family business. I think it is a business and that's how they treat it. Like I think a lot of times when you see these people portrayed as these drug kingpins and drug queen, I haven't actually seen a ton of queen pins if I'm honest, but when you see these people portrayed in these movies, they are so caught up in the world. Like it seems like for all of them, like she was talking about how smart she was in school. They're all musically talented and whatever. So I don't know if we'll find out why they got caught up in this world. But I, for whatever reason, don't think it was that they grew up and their parents were like this. I think something happened along the way, even later, maybe the dude she was dating or whatever, that got her caught up in it. And so maybe that's why it's maybe, I guess, a little less not believable, but I see it more as a business, kind of like you were saying, Baylor. Like this is work, and our work just happens to be as legal as hell. But I'm about to clock out, and they don't have certain things happen at home, which that's wise. You know what I'm saying, to have some separation. But you a lot of times see that people do have, you know, stuff like that, and so I think you're right, Baylor. There is that separation between work and home in this. And like Monet, and you got to compare it because it just is what it is. They in every other book, they had everything tied together. Like even in book 2, Tariq was dealing drugs at school. You know what I'm saying? So their whole worlds were whatever, but she don't even have people really come by her house. And there's a code, but that's probably because this was back in the 90s. Because even with gangs back in the 90s, and I've always said that there was more of a code, more honor, more whatever than what we have going on in the 2000s and
They was
beyond.
making money
Oh
back
yeah,
in the day,
definitely. Yeah, they
so
was making money.
they was
Yeah.
making money, and they was actually, even though they may have you, as you can see with what's my guy name, I cannot think of his name. Joy.
Oh, unique.
Yeah, so you can see like they're having.
Forgot his
Yeah,
name already.
I did. I got this pounding headache too.
That's my
But
favorite character right there. Unique.
yo, I've been getting a lot of backlash about his character. I'm like, yo, his character is dope.
I like him.
His character is dope. But as you can see, they have these meetings where they meeting up and they're discussing, like, yo, no. This is our block. Y'all got this. So they break down the math between each other. And then honestly, when you think about the reality of these king pins and these queen pins, they was actually showing up to similar functions, partying and things like that. So it was kind of like different. Now, did they have their, you know, mishaps and misunderstandings in between? I'm pretty sure they did, but for the most part, it's not as wild as it is now. And to piggyback off of, you know, we were talking about, we don't know exactly where they started from. The way 50 and company have set this up, you could get another spinoff from this depending on how they continue to build on these characters, where you could go back and see how they got into the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say they have built quite the world that, because I would have never thought there would be a Kanan spinoff, but I'm actually really glad they did, because I feel like in book one, I wonder if we're gonna find out, because I always thought it was something very weird between him and Tasha. Like, I always thought that, like, did y'all mess around at some point, or like, why do y'all have that interactions that y'all have? So it'll be interesting as we get further in this book, because I didn't know they were gonna ever do spin-offs, you know what I'm saying? But it was smart to do one with Kanan, because Kanan was a big part of how they got into the game. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. They could go back to, they could do his daddy, or I mean his his mama's ex. They could do
real talk.
They could do Detective Howard. Like, they could do anything, you know what I'm saying? And yeah,
they could do one on DEF CON. That is true.
Yeah,
they keep on talking. I like his name.
Is he still alive, or is he just in jail, or is he dead? Because I wonder if we're gonna see him at any point during the series.
I thought he was just in jail. From my knowledge, I thought he was just in jail.
I thought he was too, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss nothing. All right, so what y'all think about, because I think it's very interesting that as a series is starting, oh boy got leukemia or whatever, and like can't find, well, now he may find a match now that we know Kanan is his son, but I just think it's wild that at the start of it, you're finding out you have this deadly disease.
You know, I think it's pretty interesting though how they are trying to tie. I wonder if they're going to use Detective Howard, because you know how Jukebox is a cop. In another season. I'm wondering if Howard, because you know how Detective Howard was basically picking sides, trying to figure out like who was going to be the one that was actually going to be making the money and who was going to be out. I wonder if this is going to make Detective Howard want to reluctantly be on Rock's side and support that family and actually do that and actually come closer to the family and everything. And I wonder if that might be one of the reasons why Jukebox is actually a police officer, or maybe she's just a police officer because she wanted to be one. Who knows?
No, that's interesting, because I had not even, I mean, obviously we just found out that's his dad, but I had not thought about why. I mean, it's interesting watching young Kanan and young Jukebox, because even though they're in the drug world and all that, they're still kids. There's still a level of innocence to them compared to, or childlikeness, I should say, in comparison to the ruthless killers both of them are. I'm sure the heartbreak with the white girl definitely, contributes to the F the world that Jukebox had, but I never really thought about, that makes sense, that why, because I would have been wondering, how does she go from here to become a cop, for one?
You never know.
But that would make sense, because I can definitely see Detective Howard, now that he knows that's his son, trying to somehow get the bone marrow or something, and we'll see if he does. But I can't see him dying that quick.
I don't see it either, especially with them saying that, because and when I went back to watch the shows, because I usually like to watch the shows like a little bit twice. But when I watched it again, even in their interaction when Rock was talking to Detective Howard and she was snitching on Unique, telling him where the drop and everything was, if you looked at that like when they first were talking to each other, they were talking to each other like they definitely had something, like they had some emotions and everything, but maybe Rock chose that life, maybe Detective Howard chose to be a detective, and they just kind of split off into their worlds, and now they're kind of headbutting now. But I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with that. I'm real interested. I don't know
Wait,
if I don't know if Kanan just gonna give his blood out. I mean, bone marrow, that's a little hard to give out. I don't know if
hold
anybody want
up.
to just give bone marrow.
Let's go back to what you just said though, because they messed around after dude went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Because so I wondered, I definitely believe they messed around. I don't know that I think they like had a relationship like that. Like there's definitely tension, but and I knew it was something. I remember thinking, like, did they used to met? Like, why are they like this? You know what I'm saying? You're not acting like just a cop and a drug dealer that you know what I'm saying? You talking to her like how that one cop that was sleeping with Monet, you know what I'm saying, will interact with him. But I mean, of course, we'll find out because they're doing a really good job this series of when we see something, we kind of more quickly they close the loop on it. Not this, I don't see as many like loose ends out there that they just kind of did nothing with. I feel like they know how it ends with Kanan's death, so it's kind of like you got to tie these things up. Like I think we talked about this. I think this might have been just you and I, Cedric, before it started. We see they're willing to kill people. They didn't killed Buck 20. I didn't expect him to
They
die.
killed him quick, boy.
Yeah,
They shouldn't even have introduced him.
I didn't expect D Wiz to get killed, but I knew it wouldn't have been Kanan when he said the streets need a body. Like we know Kanan lives through all these crazy things. So they're not afraid to kill people.
No, I knew his homeboy was going down. The minute Lulu took him to the club,
Oh yeah, me too. I knew that
Yeah.
too.
that's when it crossed my mind. I was like, oh my god, because I remember when Unique was like, nah, we need a body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need a body. And then when Lulu took him to the club, I'm like, oh my god, it's about to
Yeah.
happen.
I wonder if
Lulu ain't shit.
no, I love Lulu. He's my favorite
Lulu
character
ain't
in
shit
this
for that
series.
boy.
And I don't know if it's the he had to do what he had to do, and it
They
wasn't gonna be
well,
Kanan.
they had to
I
do it. They had to do it to get the heat off of Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Lulu more of Lulu's character because he's a very interesting character. He hasn't said too much, but everything that he says, like you said, Baylor, he might be more ready to go than Marvin or
Oh yeah.
Marlon. He's ready to go. Like he was about to go off on Famous for not even wanting to introduce him to his sister. I'm like, dog, you can just say hi to her. Like, like he was about to go in on her. And then what's the old boy in the what's the studio dude's name?
Oh,
Future?
Is it Crown?
yeah,
Crown? Yeah, Crown.
yeah, Crown.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Crown. We'll see what
Mm.
happens with Crown because I think Crown definitely wants to clap what's her name's cheeks, and I definitely think that might happen.
You know, it looked like it might be some industry favors going on.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm interested in Lulu's character.
That's just a body though. That's just if he has. That's like almost having sex in a scary movie. He's gonna die at some point.
So speaking of dying, because okay, you said you like Symphony, right? One of y'all said that.
Uh-huh.
But Symphony being somebody who's a quote unquote good person. He's not in the drug world.
Hold
He's
on,
not.
we'll say that. We don't know
I
if he's a
know,
good person
because
yet.
I
We don't know.
don't know who he is, but he's not a part of their world. And traditionally, people like that don't last. Who try to be a part of a world they're not supposed to be a part of. Let's think back to Keisha. You know what I'm saying? And so
man,
let's
dang.
think back to Sean even because he was trying to be something that he should have just stuck to playing ball.
Poor Sean.
And so it's kind of like I've been thinking like I wonder how long he's gonna be around, because and also she's gonna find out that he kept whatever, that he picked Kanan up from the jail.
He said he wasn't gonna lie to her though. He's
Yeah,
just waiting for her to ask.
but she's the type of person, you see how she did Kanan. She doesn't want to have to ask you. She wants you to be forthcoming. So that's going to be an issue for her, that he kept that from her. She's not going
Yeah,
to be.
Symphony.
she doesn't have the she has a right to speak up for her child, but at the same time, she was also wanting Kanan to like him to
Exactly.
begin with. So she
Exactly.
gotta kind of respect it. And honestly,
Exactly.
like I can see where he coming from. Like, look, if she asks me, I'm gonna tell her the truth.
Well,
But
yeah.
I'm trying to build this bond with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like caught in the middle.
Yeah. I think he did that. I think he did that exactly how he should have did it.
He thinks that and we'll see how it plays out. I don't think she's going to see it like that, because she's going to look at it as, I could see her coming to him like she came to Kanan, because I'm pretty sure, what's that dude name? Scrappy or whatever.
Scrappy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told her, when we don't know what conversation they had. I don't believe he's really switching sides. I believe she told him to do that, and that's what that conversation was. But I'm pretty sure he told her that he picked him up, because the way he was looking at him, like, nigga, what? Like, what the hell you, like, of all the people, why are you here? Like, that just, you know what I'm saying?
He can't do no worse than his Uncle Marvin.
Yeah, he didn't do anything but pick Kanan up. He really didn't do anything.
But I think my what I'm saying is, but why would he call him? You know what I'm saying? Of all people,
that's street smarts right there.
Yeah, that's just
because why would you call your mom or your uncles up in there?
No. But I'm saying that's what dude is probably thinking. I know why he did that, but I'm saying that's probably what dude is thinking, because he didn't look at him like, oh yeah, that's smart. He looked at him like, and maybe I wonder who he is to why he looked at him like that too, because I've heard chitter chatter that people are trying to say they think he's like the feds, or think he's whatever.
That's why I don't trust him yet.
But
like,
and I don't know
him.
about that, but
that would be a cold little plot twist.
It really would, because he went after her, like he asked her out.
But if he was the feds, then he's on a different level then, because Howard doesn't know him, and if Howard, by Howard finding out that Kanan's his son, it's gonna be some confrontation there.
Oh yeah.
So if he is the feds, he's got to be like
FBI.
Because here's the thing: if DEFCON was
FBI
Frank Lucas level drug kingpin, and that's who she's tied to, this is almost on some Lobos type stuff, where they're gonna bring in somebody big. They're not gonna bring in somebody local. You know what I'm saying? So it could be. I don't know that I'm convinced that's what it is, but it just really is interesting. Like, you're a teacher, why are you a bartender? You know what I'm saying?
That's a long shot though, because now we're saying that you knew for a fact that she was going to be attracted to him.
I mean,
because who's to say that he would have got even that far? He would have to try to take another angle.
Wasn't the other dude light skinned that they showed at the beginning? Maybe if they studied, man, you done seen it. They study you, they see what you like. So if it's really that, and he's of that caliber, they studied her. Kanan's dad is probably, well, no, not if it's the detective, because I was about to say he's probably lighter, but maybe DEFCON is lighter, and they know she got a thing for light-skinned dudes, and so they send in this.
DEFCON, that's a cold name, though.
That is a cold name, man. DEFCON. I might name my next animal.
They would be foolish if they didn't study to know that's her type. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know that I'm convinced that's who he is. I just heard that I listened to this Power podcast, and they were saying people have been saying that on Twitter.
I don't
But
think he's a Fed. I just think he knows a lot more. He's got past. He's got a past. Like he did something. I don't know. I don't know if it's a Fed. I don't know if he got caught up in something and maybe he's working for the Feds.
I guess, I mean, of course we'll find out.
But
yeah.
For some reason, I just don't think he's trusted. Like you said, man, them characters always die, or they always end up somewhere where they're either ended up snitching or flipping and trying to get them to come back. Oh, come to our side, and this is what we need to do. And
he got every reason to flip too.
Every reason to flip.
So, what y'all think about Davina selling out the house, and what do you think? Do you think Kanan's gonna find out? And if Kanan finds out, what do you think she's gonna do? I mean, he's gonna do with that information.
I think Davina did that because she somewhat thinks that Kanan did kill Buck 20.
Oh yeah. At least she felt like he was a part of it.
Or a part of it.
Yeah.
So why would you think she would have said nothing happens to Kanan then to Unique?
I mean, she still likes him. She didn't. She doesn't really know for a fact. But she did come to him and was like, "Hey, I heard y'all had some beef?" And then he was just like, "Don't say nothing about that."
I think even if she did, even if Kanan came out and said like, "Yo, I had something to do with it," the emotions is going to be there strictly based off of she lost somebody to somebody that she also likes.
Because there's obviously been something kind of there because they've known each other forever, and she kind of quickly went from grieving to kissing, so there already had to be something there that didn't just all of a sudden come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But my thing though is I think it was more about she's tired of her mom. I don't even think it was about Kanan why she did what she did. I think it was about what she could get from Unique.
Man, that Unique's so smooth, man.
I
don't even think it was about her trying to get back at Kanan. I honestly think it was my mom is a crackhead and I'm doing stuff I shouldn't even have to be doing, in high school, babysitting my little sister to make sure she's safe, selling my dad's, stuff or whatever. And I think him dangling something that she wants, especially how he presented it to her, man. He's like, yeah, my family, we don't even know if this is true, but my family member was a crackhead. And he went here and he's doing good now. And hey, I can get that for you too. I think that's more so why she did it. That's
Unique
why
so
she
smooth,
said,
boy.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Unique's so funny, man. I like Unique.
I wonder if he really believes that Scrappy flipped, though.
No, I don't think he believes that.
I don't think he believes it.
You know why? Because he said he never believed Detective Howard, and he doesn't really even believe his crew, as you see.
Yeah, he doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah, he told his crew, he said, any of y'all can get off. Like, after he killed his best friend, he said, any of y'all can get
And why would he even trust him? Because this is a guy that's actually flipping in front of his face.
Yeah, so I don't think he trusts him at all. I think he's just using him.
Man,
and I like Scrappy's character.
I do too. Watching Unique kill his best friend, out of all the people we've seen get killed in all of the Power world, I feel like that was the hardest. Like, I felt that, and it made me cringe, and I had to look away from the TV because I'm like, y'all tearing this nigga's ear off? Like, this is very like the way they meet and do all that. This just reminds me of the mob. And I've always said that back in the day, gangs and stuff used to be structured way different when I was coming up than what it is now. It's a lot more reckless, a lot of, especially here where we live, a lot of people got indicted or, you know, in jail for like a long, long time. And then you have these younger people without the guidance and they just killers and reckless. Plus you got social media and all these
There's no
things.
structure. There's no structure, and then back in
There's
the
no
day,
hustle.
they was different. They was
Yeah,
dealing with a different level of money back then.
that too, because it was mainly about money. I don't know what
Yeah,
is.
money, businesses, opportunities. Like you
Yeah,
had cats on a payroll, so you was
Hmm.
damn near like if you was a part of that world,
You almost had a 9 to 5.
you had benefits too. You know
mhm.
what I'm
Well, yeah,
saying?
Yeah.
dude had health insurance talking about I'm gonna pay for your hospital bill. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? My job, my health insurance is
Yeah.
it ain't even that good.
I'm gonna pay for it. Bro, I love Unique, boy. I
Yeah,
hope that I hope he I know he's gonna die sooner or later. He's got to go,
yeah.
but I hope he at least lasts to the end of the season.
I like Unique. Who do you think? Wait, let me see something real quick.
There's a
I think it's time we cross shows right now. Who do y'all like better, Unique or Man Boy?
Mm,
Man
mm,
boy. I like
wow.
Man Boy.
I like Man
Nah,
Boy too. I think both of them smooth though. I
nah.
think both of them smooth.
I like Man Boy's mouth. He funny, man. He was that was the best death
Yeah.
anybody's ever had. Like he
Yeah.
went out talking. He got shot like 3 or 4 times.
I
You-
like Unique because I feel like Unique is who he says he is. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't pretend to be cool. That whole thing that Man Boy set up with oh girl, Unique wouldn't have did all that. Like, and I like
No.
that he's straight up and he's authentically who he says he is. He told his own crew, I don't trust none of y'all niggas. Any of y'all, you know what I'm saying? I like people like that. Man Boy was a snake. I feel like they made the wrong choice in that. They should have sided with Scully and then it wouldn't have been all that, but we ain't even gonna fully go down that path on that show. But yeah, I like Unique actually.
I do
Yeah.
think Unique needs a little bit more time because he's my favorite character in this show right now. So
Mm.
I do think he will, but he just hasn't had too much screen time. Man Boy is funny, man. I like Man Boy. I love
Unique
him.
is a good actor though. I never heard of him prior to this. You know what I'm
Joey
saying?
Badass.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Is he a rapper or yeah,
Yeah, he's an
knowing
artist.
I don't be knowing all these little young whippersnappers, but it's kind of wild that the it's interesting how they chose who they chose to play young Kanan and young Jukebox because they actually favor older Kanan and older Jukebox. Like they did this side by side of 50 Cent and I think the dude's name is like Mackay Curtis or something like that. They look like, you know what I'm saying? It really could have. Now we know it wasn't because we know what 50 Cent looked like back in the day, but they did a really good job casting these characters to where it's believable that it could be young Kanan and young Jukebox. I'll give them that too. Like I just think they did a really so far a good job. Now the only time ever, and I could be wrong on this, but the only time I was like, is in this last episode when Symphony was like, yeah, hit me up whenever. And I was like, were we saying hit me up back in the 90s? We might have been, but that's the only time that because they've done a really good job of the I'm a fan of 90s everything. So I've loved the music, the fashion. I remember all that. But when he said hit me up, I'm like, I don't know if I was saying that in high school. Maybe I was. I don't think I was saying that back then. Oh, that's the only thing that was kind of questionable. Like, y'all was doing good. And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tweet at me if you around my age, around 40 and super late 30s. If we was saying that, let me know. But I feel like I don't know about that. They might have messed up on that one. But other
I,
than that, they've done really well making New York in the like making it look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how it was back in the 90s.
Those wardrobes are nasty. I do like those jackets. Unique's Gucci jacket that he had on that was that was nice. Even Marvin's jacket that he be having on. He be having some nice ones on too.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, y'all said my favorite character is Lulu. I like that. Yeah, we know he's ready to go.
Lulu gonna kill
We know
that
that.
girl.
Man, I knew as soon as he picked D-Wiz up, I was like, oh, that's dang. Like as soon as he picked him up and then he kept stalling him. Yeah, he's coming. Yeah. And I'm like, Kanan wasn't never going. Dang, but it's like I like that you could tell, like I think you said earlier, Cedric, there's more to him than just that. Like I like people with layers where yeah, they show you who they are, but then again, they don't show you everything. Like he's very smart in the way he operates, just like he's like telling Jukebox, I don't want to owe anybody. So yeah, he got her some studio time because he paid for it, but he wasn't about to ask no favors like a girl, even if she's just flirting with him, hugging him, just to, make him think he finna get whatever. I don't know that she'll actually really go there, especially not now that old boy threw money around and she's like, oh, okay, I see it's in you. You know what I'm saying? But she's definitely using her sex appeal or whatever to at least try to, you know what I'm saying, make it seem like he could get it. But I like the way Lulu thinks though, and also that he understands, again, this is back to the business structure. He understands the hierarchy of what it is and who Rock is. And it seems like Marvin used to be in charge back in the day, maybe. I feel like they've kind of alluded to that. So it'll be interesting if they further explore that or why, because he's the older brother.
He's just the older brother, I think. I think he's just the older brother because even in his mannerisms when they was fighting, they was just fighting like family. You know what I mean? They wasn't that was just a little scrap.
But I'm saying, like, was he ever supposed to be in charge? Because she said something like, and she's said something that made it seem, excuse me, like
he always fucks up.
Or no, like he was in charge and fucked it up, and that's why she's in the position she's in. I don't know, and I don't know. It's not that serious because I
gotta watch that scene again.
Yeah, like I feel like he was in charge, and I don't know if it's because he got locked up, because we know he was locked up. But yeah, I'll have to revisit that and see.
That is older bro. That is true.
Yeah, because that's not, especially back then, to have a female be running stuff like that. Nah, not back then. Like
that's why I'm like, I needed to see. That's why I want to see a harder side of Rock. I think Rock, to me, is too soft almost. Not saying she's a soft character, but I think she's too soft for where she's at. You know, I'm thinking of Rock, Kanan's mom. I'm thinking of a ruthless, like Jukebox type of person. Like,
but you see, she ain't even killed nobody. So it's kind of like when you shoot somebody or you whatever, that first time is kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? But then the more you do anything like that, you become more desensitized to it. I don't even know if she's ever killed anybody because
I think she probably did.
She got
pulled
brother.
out that gun like she did.
Yeah, but there's a difference between having to defend yourself and being like Lulu. You know what I'm saying? Or even Marvin. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's her.
She's just a killer.
Yeah. Kanan, though, we see who his parents really are. So it's very interesting because Howard is, yeah, he's a cop, and I'm not gonna say he's a dirty cop, but he's an interesting detective trying to take sides and allowing certain things and all that stuff, very calculated. I could see like me seeing who Kanan's parents really are, because we may get to see DEF CON, but we haven't yet. It actually makes sense that he's the way that he is. Me seeing like who his parents actually are.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder where he gets that ruthlessness from, or is it like a Tariq situation where he's a product of everybody? Because that's kind of how Tariq was, the product of everybody who raised him. In a sense, he wasn't just one person. He had kind of all there. So there's that whole nature versus nurture thing, where nurture says what's genetics and what's passed down, and then nature says that. I think that's what I said. And then nurture is like how you're groomed and raised. So you could have a set of twins that have the same parents, and maybe their parents were both drug dealers and killers, or scientists and doctors, but if they're raised in different environments, the nurture oftentimes is going to take. And Lulu is definitely ruthless for sure. So
but I think in the first episode it showed where he got that side from, where he got picked on and his mom dragged him back outside and said, handle your business.
true.
So that maybe, we didn't get a lot of examples, but I think that was one example to set the tone. Like, well, this is where he got that side from, because his mom made him go outside and handle his business.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So, any predictions for the rest of this season?
Scrappy about to die.
Yeah, Scrappy's gonna die,
Scrappy about to die.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
and I honestly don't have a prediction after that, because finding out that that Howard is the father, I don't know. There's so many ways they can go with this.
Mhm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think my boy Unique is gonna die sooner or later, but
oh boy,
I don't think this season. I don't know though, because
there's another character that they were trying to introduce a little bit. We haven't seen him. I forgot his name, and now I feel stupid for even bringing it up. But there's somebody. Oh man, I got to think about it. It's on the tip of my tongue. There's another character out there.
I think Davina is gonna go. I think
Davina?
because if once it's found out, especially if Rock finds out, because Scrappy knows that Kanan went out there to Davina when he told him not to go out there. He knows that. And I don't know how much Unique. I know he doesn't trust Scrappy, but I could see him, because I feel like Davina is disposable to him. That's not anybody he really cares about. I could see him knowing, because he's calculated too. So I could even in him trying to test. Now this is a way out theory, but whatever. I could see him in him trying to test Scrappy's loyalty, telling Scrappy where he got the information from, and then when she pop up dead, him knowing, I knew you was whatever. Like that is how they do stuff in here. Plant information on purpose to kind of like set you up. So I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think she's gonna go. I feel like she's gonna go.
I definitely think that they're going to start grooming Kanan and Jukebox.
Yeah. They kind of already are, Kanan, because she sees he's gonna do what he's gonna do regardless.
She taught him how to cook.
Yeah, Jukebox. I'm just trying to see how when she gets into this, because she's not really.
In it at all.
Maybe wait. Maybe that's the plan, though. Maybe that's the plan, to where they groom her to go be a police officer to work for to put her on a payroll.
Mm.
Well, that's actually one of the things that 50 says she was doing. She was a crooked cop, actually, so that does make sense. Yeah.
You see the robberies and stuff she had going on, in book 1. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, we're going to see how it plays out, but I wonder how involved she's ever. I just feel like and I know having this heartbreak with this white girl,
You think she's
especially
gonna die?
the white girl, she probably will never pop back up because Jukebox was hurt by that. Like, and not even hurt by what her mom said about I'm a whatever with the rape, but her, like, Kanan knows her sexual orientation, but I don't even think her dad was. And like back in the 90s,
Yeah.
it wasn't like now where we've
More
come a
accepted.
long way with inclusion. Like, because even as I see a lot of things, even teen pregnancy and stuff that's so just accepted now. When I was in high school, I can only think of like one girl that I know was bi, but she didn't. You only know if you was around her. She wasn't out with it because that's not how it was back then. So there's that too, because I also think it's through Nicole that she actually figured out for sure, like, okay, because that was like her first kiss, first whatever they, a little sexually. She wasn't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that first heartbreak and we don't know where her mom is, or well, we know kind of, but we don't know why she don't want nothing to do with her daughter. We don't know any of that. And the only female role model you have is your auntie who loves you, yeah, but I don't even know if she knows what it is. So it's kind of like, because yeah, she got a little girlfriend in book 1, but you saw how she pimped her out to sleep with her cousin. Like, that was wild to me, but now it makes sense because you probably don't believe in love no more. Love don't live here no more.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
Yeah.
long time ago, Jukebox. That was a long time ago.
And that's how it be. People be carrying around so much pain. I mean, I could think of people in real life that have been carrying around whatever pain for years and years and years. And I mean, there's things that I'm processing through now as an adult that stem back to childhood stuff that if you don't, like, once you recognize it, because sometimes you don't realize, but once you recognize what it is and you realize that it's not this, oh, I'm just like that, that's just how I am. No, we weren't created to be, even though this is TV, but even seeing Kanan and Jukebox, how they are as teenagers is way different than who they became. So this even shows you don't really just come out this ruthless killer. Life, things happen and you respond to it in a way that's going to, create the environment to cultivate that. And so, and who would have told her, who did she have to talk to? You know what I'm saying? Her and Kanan is even kind of beefing now because she done told the truth, said little Davina was running her mouth, and now he mad because he like, no, I've been loving her since the first grade. He finally got her, so he blinded.
And then got beat up.
That ain't Sean's mom, is it? Because I
Who?
start Davina, because I don't know why I've been thinking like that ain't his baby mama, is it?
You know, I thought that too. I was like, is that little baby?
Oh, little Sean.
Yeah, little Sean.
They ain't even did all that yet, I
Yeah,
don't
I
think.
was like, no, that can't be him. No.
But I
But
wonder, is that because I don't remember what her name was.
I don't think he ever said her name.
I don't think he did either. And I ain't about to go digging for it. It ain't that serious.
I mean,
But
but Sean should be coming around kind of now. I mean, you would think this should be around the time around like college, high school.
So if he doesn't kill her, maybe because that's his baby mama, and he's like, "Oh, she got my seed, I can't," or I don't know. But I feel like that's gonna be sad.
Who's your least favorite character? If y'all have one, because I know I have one, and it's that famous kid.
Famous is a little corny to me.
He's needed. I understand why he's there, but he's boy.
It might be
not quite famous.
it might be famous. It might be famous.
And I had that down in my notes to ask y'all, but I guess he's the most annoying, so I guess it would have to be least favorite because first of all, and I know this was accepted, but the amount of times this dude says nigga and nobody blinks an eye and they just with it, that is an issue.
Well, ain't he black? Famous is black. He ain't black.
He not Puerto Rican?
He's something. He's something. I
know he ain't white, but I don't think he black. But I know nigga I know that's a word that like it's different. It's not like
they in New York too. I mean Queens, you know how everybody kind of say it down there.
But it's interesting because his whole little rap career about whatever the streets need a body. I don't like how he keeps saying that because it's like your boy got killed because the streets needed a body. And what do you know about that? And I think he's annoying. He gonna probably get killed too.
He definitely needs to go.
Just because he be running his mouth too much.
And what about the who you think is gonna kill the owner, the store owner? You think it's gonna be Rock or you think it's gonna be his wife?
Hey, I was about to say his wife because she's sick of his shit, man.
Oh boy, his wife I can see it.
Man, when you're in an abused relationship, man, she looking for if she don't do it with her, like herself, she's gonna be the cause of it. That's for sure.
Or she'll be there.
Yeah,
she'll see it. She'll be like, okay.
I could see Lulu killing him, like not for her because he likes her because he has a girlfriend, but just off the principle of why are you putting your hands on your wife type thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're there because
Marvin
the wife
can do it too. I can see Marvin because they already done had a little back and forth a little bit.
And they're there because the wife was talking to Lulu, not the husband. And Marvin too, because that's why he took that dog. I like that he did that because it showed that he cares, because he was right. How the hell you up here trying to cuddle with me and you ate and I gave you this dog to replace the dog that was killed and you ain't even feeding the dog? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see Marvin too, just off why you putting your hands on a woman.
Yeah, Marvin can definitely give him that business, but I'm interested to see when he's gonna die because I don't like his character either. Just off of GP.
Yeah, I don't like how. I mean, but I get it.
And I love how when his wife, every time Rock talks to him, and his wife be looking, she be like,
yeah, nigga. Yeah, right.
And it's funny too how he entered because he's not used to that at all. Like he is not used. Every time Rock stands up to him, he just like looks like, oh, like this woman talking to me, like, okay.
Well, because you got to think about it though. Again, back in the 90s, you know what I'm, and even men in general, there are men, but a man like him who beats on his wife is gonna have a problem in general with a woman in authority. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised, but I have been peeping how his wife has been like, that's my hero. Like looking at her like she is all for it. You know what I'm saying? So
and Rock peeps the game too. That's why I like about Rock in that situation. She sees it, and I think that's why Rock kind of doesn't like kind of plays him to like the left a little bit too. Like dog, get out of here.
Yeah, you ain't finna come at me like that, nigga.
Yeah, and if you keep on testing me, I'm I'm gonna put you in your place, bro.
Especially if you keep asking for more money. Like, I liked how she said, we shake hands when we negotiate, and I don't
Throw
know,
hands to
throw
renegotiate.
hands, yeah, to renegotiate, and you don't want that. Like, and he don't, you know what I'm saying?
Not if you
Because
beating on women, you don't.
nah,
Yeah, he didn't want that.
yeah, so
Usually
Yes.
those men don't want that confrontation.
Yeah, so I looked up famous. He's from Spanish Harlem. So he's definitely no. I mean, cause look, I'm from LA. The essays say nigga. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? They grew up in our culture. And definitely out there in New York is definitely different because they out there with the Dominicans, Puerto
yeah.
Ricans, and stuff like that. So, it's a lot of, you don't know, our history is all over the place.
I mean, I get it. It's just it's so funny because in the 90s things were like that. You know what I'm saying? In the 90s, there were probably, even if it was, I could think of white dudes that I know that grew up in the hood all their life that have said nigger around people and people ain't tripping. So it's just interesting watching this show based in the 90s because it's like, yeah, it really was like that back then. Whereas now people are a lot more tolerant of things that are inclusion, based or whatever. So like jukebox, it wouldn't be, the girl. I mean, and granted though, there are still people who struggle with coming out to their family and stuff. So I'm not even about to minimize the stuff that people have told me about, you know what I mean, their journey. But I'm just saying, in general, we've come a long way with that stuff like that. But then there's less tolerance for like toxic stuff and
But that's definitely a regional thing though, because like I said, even though I can understand like people being from Spanish Harlem or being from South Central or something like that, the essays saying it are even mixed because he definitely looks mixed.
He's
But
yeah.
I've never not in South Central because we don't they and they still haven't gentrified certain areas in South Central and Compton and stuff like that, and they stay away from that area. But no, we definitely didn't play. We definitely we didn't let no white people get away with that at all.
They said we gonna leave
Yeah,
Compton
yeah,
alone.
yeah. We didn't let them get away with that at all. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I first heard of and seen Paul Wall, I was like, "Oh, he definitely says it. He gotta say it."
Does
You know
Paul
what I mean?
Walsh ever say it? I've never heard Paul Walsh
No,
say
no,
that
I've
word.
never
I've
heard him say
never
it.
heard him
I've
say
never heard
it.
him say
And
it,
that's
but I'm
why I
like,
don't agree. Was that you, Tim, that said that? Like people grew up like
I
there's
just said
white people that I know that grew up around brothers all talk slang. You would think they say the nigga. They don't say nigga.
no, I'm just saying I've known of people that, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember
yeah.
I ran into a white boy. Yeah, oh no, I'm not even gonna get into that story on here. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna get into that story
Yeah,
on here.
Yeah.
well, y'all, this has, I guess we'll go ahead and get up out of here. This has been our Power Book 3 first half recap. This is what we're going to do for every power. Like I said, we're going to halfway through the season, you know what I'm saying? For every season, for every power show. This is gang gang. So if two of us can make it, there'll always be an episode regardless. But for the most part, I mean, obviously, unless I can't make it, then, we'll have to reschedule. But my whole point is this is what we do. This is what we're gonna do whenever power is on, and then when power is not on, that's when we get back into the movie reviews, just so y'all could get used to the gang gang, you know what I'm saying, and this thing. But why don't y'all, before we get up out of here, give them y'all social media. I don't know if you have anything coming up, Baylor, any shows, or I mean, you got like a million different podcasts that you a part of, but you know, y'all could tell
Yeah.
them all that.
That's gonna have to stop because I'm tired. Cause I'm tired. Said I'm tired. At Baylorism until I get Baylor the Great back on Twitter. BTG for President, Open Run with BTG, part of the Red Sounders Network. And stay tuned for 824. We having a major drop on 824 Kobe Day. Launching
Oh
up.
man, that is coming up.
Yeah, we're launching a whole new network, a whole new
All right.
brand.
Well, by the
So,
time this airs, it will have, aired because this is gonna air after that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, just in case, y'all can go back and we will be launching 824. We have launched on 824. The lunch break, the lunch break, the lunch break productions.
Okay, I've been peeping what you be on TikToks. I've been wondering what that was and why. So okay.
Yeah, no, we definitely got something. We got something coming. So
Okay.
stay tuned for that one.
That's what's
All
up.
right. All right. Cedric.
At my Twitter, you see it right there. Right there. No, ICLW51. Watch out for my photography page that says photography. I haven't really been posting anything on that, but I have been gathering pictures and everything. I do plan on actually doing some more stuff with that. And yeah, man, just nothing else. Yeah,
Yeah,
all aboard me.
I put all that in the episode notes. And then if you knew, I'm Tamra. This is Tamra to the Break It Down podcast. I also am a blogger. I blog every Monday at 5. A new blog drops. So the link to that is in my episode notes on my website, tamrathedon.com. I also have a consulting agency where I do professional development and coaching right now. If you are a small business owner and you have need of standard operating procedure writing, you can hire me for that. You don't have to live in Omaha. I do things virtually. So go to my website for your free consultation so we can kind of see what you need and go from there. New episodes drop every Thursday, like I said in the beginning. Podcast happy hour will have just happened by the time this drops. So if you missed it, then the link to the visuals will be in the episode notes. It's hosted on Autumn's platform, which is the Lit Life podcast. Yeah, and for those of y'all, let me give y'all a little sneak preview for my actual listeners. I'm not advertising this yet, but I had the karaoke battle in February. I said it was going to be an annual thing, but so many people, I was actually surprised how many people were saying, when are you going to have the next one? You got to have the next one. So we are going to have the next karaoke battle in October. It's not going to be the same people. It's not going to be the same old because I got to put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. But man, the people I got, I ain't gonna say who it is yet. We gonna, I gotta sprinkle things, keep y'all interested. But this energy is about to be like, I mean, the energy was dope the first one, don't get me wrong, but these people that I got, win or lose, they gonna be talking shit regardless, like they winning,
Hey,
even if they losing.
hey, I'm just gonna say this. I ain't gonna say no names either. But if I'm in attendance, Vegas ain't got a chance. You heard me? Vegas don't have a chance, brother.
So anyways, as I was saying, these people, whoever they may be, you know what I'm saying, the energy that is going to come. In all things that I do, any show that I put together with guests, I go for a certain vibe. You know what I'm saying? We gang because of the vibe that came together, that it was even better than I anticipated, because I know my brother Cedric is my blood little brother. He's grown, but I'm, the oldest.
After watching that show, I don't know, man. We not just playing.
No, but and Baylor, we've talked enough that I knew the vibe, so that's how I put stuff together. So yeah, that's coming up the first week in October. It's gonna be a live show on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. They'll be competing for a prize. It's definitely about to be dope. So giving y'all a little sneak preview on that. As always, make sure you're taking care of your mental and emotional health. Make sure you're taking care of yourself spiritually. We all got a spirit. We all got emotions and a mind. We got to be healthy. Make sure you are taking care of yourself physically. I talk about my Snatch 40s journey a lot. I share it publicly because I'm trying to make sure that I am healthy physically. We only have one body and we got to take care of it so we can do all the things that we got to do. And make sure you're healthy in your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, if you have unresolved hurt, that's actually what I've been working on this month, is processing the issues of my heart. So make sure you're doing what you got to do so that you can give people the best version of you, because that's what they deserve. So that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, and y'all will hear from me soon.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for